Thailand's parliament has begun a contentious debate on the country's 2020 budget. After scrutinising the bill, lawmakers are expected to vote on the $105 billion fiscal plan.
Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's ruling coalition will likely face an uphill battle to get the budget passed, and that's because his coalition only has a thin majority in parliament. Our correspondent Saksisa Sambat joins us live for all those details. Saksisa, what are the chances that the budget bill gets passed?
Well, there's a very thin chance that is very likely to pass, but that's because also because the government coalition has a very razor-thin majority. Even though they have lost the majority of 251 MPs, but that is only if there were all 500 MPs in Parliament right now. That is not the case. Both sides of the aisle, both the coalition and the opposition, have lost MPs due to resignations and disqualifications. So that's why the government coalition still has the upper hand, but it has a very razor-thin majority. And that's why we had some rumors going on in the past few weeks whether or not the government coalition is trying to poach or otherwise convince opposition MPs to vote in favor of the bill. And also, as a side note, some very interesting development: before we actually had the debate about the budget bill, there was another debate about the emergency decree that the government has issued out, allowing the transfer of the command of 2 military units to the King, His Majesty King Maha Vajiralongkorn. The Parliament has voted with a majority in favor of that, endorsing, except for the Future Forward Party. They were the only opposition party voting in unison against it. And that is a very unprecedented move, because normally the Parliament and politicians don't veer into the territory of royal affairs.
Saksisa, what happens then if MPs reject the bill?
Well, this is just the first of 3 readings that we will have now. The MPs will still be talking for the next two days about this one. They will have then a preliminary vote to either endorse or reject the bill in principle. And even if the bill is being rejected, well, that's not the end of the world, because there are provisions that allow the government to keep on going. They will allow to use the previous budget for a little while they come up with a new draft. And if it gets passed, there will be a committee fine-combing every single detail about the budget bill. Then it will come back to more readings in the beginning of next year. If that's the case, well, then it will be used in February next year, half a year later than the fiscal year normally starts with the Thai government, which is in October. However, if it doesn't pass in early next year, well, that's not the end of the world as well. The political etiquette says that the government has to resign and Parliament has to be dissolved, and so we have new elections, but there's no legal requirement for them to do so. In any case, this is still a very crucial debate as well. This is the first time that Prayut Chan-o-cha faces a parliamentary opposition against the bill. Just a reminder for our viewers, he has been ruling for Thailand for over 5 years, and the majority of them, it was a military government with hardly any opposition or no opposition whatsoever. This is the first time that he is facing it right now, and even if it's not the end of the world, even if it doesn't pass us in the first time, and even if there will be no legal consequences, so to speak, it will be a very bruised ego if that's the case.
All right, many thanks for that. Saksisa Sambat speaking to us from Bangkok.